Remember, now we're talking about men doing traditionally feminine chores. The precursor to this discussion is, the man has done most if not all of the providing. If we talk of the stay-at-home mom, then he's done all the providing. If we're talking about the working wife, despite her thinking that they've worked the same, he still works more, he still does most of the providing. If he's not providing, this video is meaningless. We don't have a discussion. So, he does all the providing first, and then, him getting any form of appreciation or intimacy depends on his home investment.
I hear men complaining that their wives don't want to have sex with them, and then I see videos like this and can't understand the confusion. You shouldn't be doing the dishes to get laid. You should be washing the dishes because they need to be cleaned.
You see the association between housework and sexual activity. Where do you think that comes from? This take is quite interesting. In terms of sex, men and women have evolved differently. Based on the parental investment theory, men and women have evolved in manners that have maximized their abilities to propagate genes to the next generation. The fact that women get pregnant, carry a baby to term, and raise children to self-sufficiency means that women have to be picky with who they sleep with to achieve reproductive success. For men, reproductive success just requires copulating with a fertile female. Differences in men's and women's parental investments means that men are less picky with who they sleep with, compared to women. The fact that, from a biological standpoint, women have better control of their sexual desires compared to men means that they can use sex as a sport, a manipulation tool to get what they want. Women use sex as a manipulation tool for a lot of things, including money and power in the case of picking the most dominant males in any society. While this sounds horrible, it hasn't always been bad. Sexual sublimation refers to the deflection of sexual instincts into non-sexual activity. The theory of sexual sublimation focuses on an era, before the sexual revolution of the 60s and 70s, when women used sexual activity to reward good behavior in men. In that era, for a man to access female nudity, they had to exhibit pro-social achievements, such as have a job or stable income, have a stable residence, and exhibit pro-familial values. The results were extremely low out-of-wedlock births, more stable unions and families, and thriving societies. Enter the sexual revolution that followed the invention of birth control and legalization of abortion, which witnessed the breakdown of the family structure, increased out-of-wedlock births, the fading away of shotgun marriages, and general societal degradation as more and more people are coming out of single-parent families. Closely related to sexual sublimation is sexual transmutation, that is, restricting and redirecting sexual energy, especially male sexual energy that is very destructive, and turning it into human capital. Our grandmothers going backwards did an excellent job of containing male sexual energy by restricting sexual activity to marriage and long-term commitment. Societies, and especially men, rewarded chaste women with responsibility, stepping up to the plate, and enforcing shotgun marriages, making sure that the man could not abscond responsibility after getting laid because the women back then weren't reckless with their bodies. The women of today be out here sleeping with everyone then complaining men have become irresponsible. Birth control and abortion have encouraged both men and women to engage in sexual activity without consequences. Women using abortion and contraception to engage in sex without consequences is them being liberated, sexually autonomous, and free from male control. However, men using abortion, contraception, and women's permissive sexual attitudes to engage in sex without consequences amounts to them being irresponsible.